Hey, what's up, Herd? I've got another video regarding the BOOKUSD application with the Book coin, and obviously I'm not in my normal studio. I'm out on vacation for the next couple of weeks, but I'm definitely here to support you guys, and let's get on into the content here. Oh, and by the way, I did shave off the beard, so don't adjust your screens. I do have the stash, rocking the stash for the vacation. I promise the beard will be back shortly, but let's get on into the content, guys. Mike Dre, a member of the Herd and a great writer in the space, as well as a really great education provider for concentrated liquidity and just general crypto stuff, DeFi stuff, meme content has been great to put together this awesome blog. I'm going to try to digest it in small bits here. A lot of this stuff that I've covered in the previous 10 or so videos that I've created do cover a lot of this stuff in detail. All right, so let's get into why the Book meme coin and BOOKUSD protocol is really a winning combination, and why Mike and myself think that this is an absolute legend of a coin. The age of meme coins, he's talking about the last couple of years, really since 2022. The memes have been priority, especially on the Solana chain, but also on the BNB chain. The Book meme coin itself, meme coin launched on the BNB chain in early 2025, so early this year, with a market cap of approximately $500,000, reached 10 million recently, and that's because of the community involvement, but also the BOOKUSD application. Mike says, participating in Book is an experience that is rich with tools and strategies, encouraging holders' ability to scale in and scale out. He's talking about DCAing and the TWAP function inside of PancakeSwap, but also the single-sided V3 liquidity tool gives you the ability to scale out of your position at a very reasonable rate and get some rewards on the way up as you get some of these X's here. So you can start at a 2x to get out, you can get a 5x to scale out, a 10x, and so on. A lot of people have locked up their liquidity in this, and then you can absolutely take that out via PancakeSwap on the back end as well. Book's tokenomics are designed for simplicity and transparency, critical for meme coin success. The total supply of 185 million tokens is fully circulating, with a portion being held by the team to incentivize Book liquidity providers. No gimmicks, relying instead on community-driven demand, in which, you know, the community is all about this, guys. We have the MSS community involved because the dev on this is primarily Aaron from that community, but then we also have BT working on his end. So the Elephant Money and the Herd community is involved as well. And then we have this liquidity fork built on top of it, the BOOKUSD.com application, which makes it possible to lend your Book tokens and take out a loan in the form of BUD tokens or our stablecoin. The Book team has developed the BOOKUSD lending protocol, a fork of Liquidity V1, enabling users to borrow the BUD stablecoin by using Book as collateral. This is not an interest-bearing loan, guys. It's a 4% upfront fee, and then you're off to the races. No more worrying about interest rates after the fact. Though this has been tried before, guys, the lack of liquidity depth and the absence of a reliable liquidator has been the issues. But this article gets into why this is working well. And this is how we've gotten over the shortcomings of those previous tries at this sort of application. Liquidity V1 fork with stability pool. By adopting Liquidity's model, BOOKUSD internalizes liquidations through its stability pool, where BUD stakers absorb liquidated collateral and earn BUS rewards. This eliminates reliance on external liquidators, ensuring liquidations occur even during high volatility. Savannah House is liquidator of last resort. A strategic partner maintains a significant position in that stability pool to act as a liquidator of last resort. This ensures liquidations are executed during market downturns, protecting BUD's peg, reducing bad debt and accumulation. Low loan to value ratio, and this is also a really good one, guys. We have an LTV peak at 57%, which definitely makes it a more conservative lending application, but I think that's necessary for a meme coin. Understanding collateralization ratios, you can definitely look at that. I'll link in the description below, but I won't get into the nitty-gritty on that. Book holders are able to go to BOOKUSD protocol and use Book as collateral to mint to BUD, which is over-collateralized stablecoin backed by Book. We talk about the collateralization ratio of reaching 140%, and that'll trigger the liquidation. And that means that BUD is never less than 129% collateralized over the US dollar peg that it's at. Two primary actors maintaining the peg is liquidators, who help sustain the health of the lending market by removing risky debt positions, and then the BUD borrowers. So we're naturally incentivized by profit opportunities to repurchase BUD at discounted prices. So this is how we get some arbitrage there on the BUD peg. The BUD economy overview: you can stake in liquidity pools on PancakeSwap, guys, going BUD versus USDC, and that is a 1% pool, which is great for concentrated liquidity gains. And then the exit system: sell the stablecoin for other assets or stablecoins, which can create sell pressure and stabilize the peg. If it goes over peg, guys, obviously we can sell those BUD tokens for a profit and then get back into them later. Challenges in traditional stablecoin systems: low swap fees are LP of those stablecoins. The USD C2 BUD liquidity pool is a 1% pool, which highly incentivizes those liquidity providers in comparison to most liquidity being at a 0.05 to 0.3% liquidity pool, which lowers the incentivization to add liquidity to the pool. The other challenges, guys, have been the high borrowing costs. We have a static 4%, which is way better than the primarily up to 7% or more that you see in other lending markets, guys. Since we're minting a stablecoin instead of having liquidity providers give us those USDC coins or whatever stablecoin that you would be lending inside of our application at a low 4%, which is just the borrow fee up front, instead of having an APR of 7% or higher. And then other challenges are incentive dependency, token emission, and external bribes. A lot of that VE tokenomics has helped those in the other stablecoin applications on, say, things like Base, or those that were built on the Sonic chain, but we don't have to do that because we have some strong incentives inside of BOOKUSD ourselves. BUD addresses these with the fee structure: the minting fee of 4%, redemption fee of 1%. Like I said, swap fees are 1%, which keeps the liquidity providers happy and helps out with the arbitrage opportunities. That's 20x higher revenue per swap compared to a 0.05 pool. The economic implications for borrowers: high upfront costs. The 4% minting fee increases the cost of borrowing BUD compared to Liquidity's 0.5% base fee. However, the absence of ongoing interest payments makes BUD unattractive for long-term borrowers. Predictable redemptions: the fixed 1% redemption fee provides cost certainty, unlike Liquidity V1's variable fee. For liquidity providers, lucrative revenue incentives of that 1% in the LP, and then reduced token dilution by relying on fee revenue rather than token emissions. BUD minimizes downward pressure on the book token, enhancing its stability value. For stability pool participants, enhanced rewards: that 4% fee instead of that 0.5 that Liquidity has really incentivizes the bus holders and stakers. And then the protocol security, guys: a large stability pool strengthens BUD's ability to manage liquidations, and that's backed by the large liquidity provision that has been created by Savannah House. Well, here's a quick comparison to SNX and SUSD, which is the Synthetics token. Synthetics is a DeFi protocol on Ethereum that enables the creation of synthetic assets, including the SUSD stablecoin, which is backed by SNX tokens. Unlike Book, SNX is not a meme coin, but a utility token with a focus on synthetic asset creation. Historically, SNX required a high 750% collateralization ratio, which was reduced to 200% under the SIP 420 update into 2025 to improve capital efficiency. This adjustment, however, contributed to SUSD's severe depegging, with prices dropping to 66 cents by April 18th of 2025, a 34% deviation from its $1 peg. The consensus belief attributed SUSD's depegging to multiple factors, primarily driven by the SIP 420 update: reduced collateralization ratio, shared debt pool, SNX price volatility, and market sentiment at protocol transition. While SUSD depegging and underscores broader challenges in crypto collateralization stablecoin models, specific issues within the SNX tokenomics played a significant role. Lowering the collateralization ratio from 750 to 200 increased SUSD's supply relative to SNX backing, reducing the incentive for stakers to buy discounted SUSD to repay debts. A key peg stabilization mechanism. Shared debt pool, SIP 420 introduced a centralized debt pool, shifting debt responsibility from individual stakers to the protocol. Previously, stakers managed their own debt position, directly incentivizing them to buy discounted SUSD to maintain their collateralization ratio and avoid liquidations. The 420 pool centralized debt management, removing this direct incentive and weakening the protocol's ability to naturally restore peg was pretty devastating. SNX price volatility, a 26% decline in SNX price over 30 days in early 2025 raised fears of under-collateralization, prompting users to exchange SUSD for SNX and sell, creating a deleveraging cycle that further destabilized SUSD. Market sentiment and protocol transitions. Synthetics founder Kane Warwick described the depegging as a transitional pain, noting that the protocol's sale of 90 million in ETH to increase SNX holdings weakened liquidity and added uncertainty. Specific issues within SNX tokenomics played a significant role. SNX stagnant growth and limited volatility compared to meme coins diminished its attractiveness as collateral and undermined market confidence in SUSD. Initially, the high collateralization ratio of 750 was capital inefficient and discouraged users' participation. Conversely, lowering the collateralization ratio to 200 led to oversupply risks without providing adequate stabilization mechanisms. Nevertheless, the core concept of crypto collateralization stablecoins remains viable when supported by robust tokenomics and effective liquidity management, as evidenced by successful protocols like LUSD, SUDD, and CurveUSD, which typically employ collateral with higher market capitalization assets. The SUSD case suggests that SNX tokenomics, particularly its failure to adapt to market dynamics and maintain liquidity, were more responsible than inherent flaws in the model. Meme coin viability and the BUD depegging risks. Meme coins' extreme volatility makes them riskier collateral than SNX, increasing the likelihood of liquidations during price dumps. However, Book's 57% LTV and high minimum trove size reduce over leveraging, and the stability pool ensures liquidations are handled internally, unlike SUSD's reliance on thin AMM pools. Tokenomic strength. Book's fair launch model and full supply circulation prevent insider-driven dumps, a contrast to SNX complex governance and token unlocks, which diluted confidence. The 4% mint redeem fee generates sustainable yield for bus holders, incentivizing participation and supporting BUD's repeg, unlike SUSD's weakened incentives post SIP 420. Capital efficiency trade-off. Book's low LTV ensures stability but sacrifices capital efficiency, a challenge SNX faced with its initial 750% ratio and even post SIP 420. As Book matures and price growth stabilizes, investors may prefer protocols with higher LTVs, reducing BUD's appeal unless the protocol adjusts its parameters or introduces new incentives. Savannah House's role as a liquidator of last resort addresses a key failure in past meme coin-backed stablecoins, where liquidators abandon low-cap assets. This contrasts with SUSD, where liquidity outflows and insufficient incentives exacerbated depegging. While Book's design reduces depegging risk compared to SUSD, long-term viability depends on maintaining community momentum and adopting tokenomics to balance stability and capital efficiency. Meme coins, unlike SNX, thrive on hype and virality, which can sustain BUD's peg during growth phases, but may falter if market sentiment shifts or if the protocol fails to innovate. Mike outlines these challenges moving forward. The 57% LTV, while safe, poses long-term risks if book price growth slows. Investors may find the low LTV capital inefficient compared to other DeFi protocols offering 60 to 65% LTV, potentially reducing BUD's attractiveness. This mirrors SNX struggle with its high collateralization ratio, which limited participation before SIP 420. However, Book's early stage volatility and meme coin hype mitigate this concern in the short term as speculative demand drives participation. Another challenge is maintaining community engagement and liquidity. Meme coins rely on sentiment, and a loss of hype could reduce trading volume, impacting BUD's peg. The 4% mint redemption fee and bus incentives aim to counter this by providing yield, but sustained success requires continuous community building and protocol innovation. Risk and risk management options. Scenario 1, book holding only. You can absolutely just buy and hold a bunch of book, guys. Don't have to participate in that book USD application, but that doesn't give you any way to scale out of your book tokens, and it is capital inefficient as you're just holding your book tokens and not getting any yield out of them. Scenario 2 requires book as collateral to mint BUD, and then using that BUD to participate against the USD in the liquidity pool, or you could put it in the stability pool and gain some BUS tokens. In conclusion, Book and BUD represent an ambitious attempt to merge meme coin speculation with DeFi utility, learning from past CDP stablecoin failures. While the example regarding SNX tokenomics weakness destabilized changes, Book's fair launch model, low LTV, and robust liquidation mechanisms aim to reduce similar risks. Nevertheless, its long-term success hinges on maintaining community hype. So guys, that means each one teach one right, and then adapting to market demands for capital efficiency and ensuring liquidity depth. As meme coins continue to dominate crypto's narrative in 2025, Book's blend of volatility and stability offers an intriguing case study in the balancing risk and reward in this high-stakes asset class. With that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I think this is a great overview from Mike D regarding the risks and the rewards in the Book meme coin and its accompanying BOOKUSD application. As you know, I'm definitely involved, guys, and I will be along with you for the ride here. What I get most out of this, guys, is that this is all about the hype the community brings to the application and the token itself. So get out there and each one teach one, grab yourself a bag, get some yield from BOOKUSD, and let's make sure to spread the word about this opportunity to our friends and networks. With that, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Have a great day. God bless.